This marker, there was a horizontal scuff. We know Mr. O'Keefe had blue jean type pants on. There's a scuff in the area that would approximately correspond to hip level for Mr. O'Keefe.
And next slide, please.
Yes, ma'am. 118.
Thank you.
Did you describe what you saw on the bottom right-hand corner photo as well?
I believe, yes, I did. That's the scuff that lines up with the approximate height of Mr. O'Keefe's right hip. So then I included previous image that you've seen, slide 119, with the reconstructed photograph of the rear taillight, showing where some of the fragments are. You can see where those fragments are relative to the curvature of the taillight. They'd be in the area somewhat centered within the region of the two yellow lines on slide 119.
Is there anything about the photograph in the top right-hand corner that's important? If so, could you zoom in and show us?
So again, it's showing that this is when it's, I believe, in the Sally Port at the police station, showing that scuff on the right rear body panel.
Let's bring in our guest this hour to discuss what we've been seeing so far in this testimony. Trial attorney and former prosecutor Randolph Rice. Randolph, thank you so much for being with us today. Give me your general overview of what you received, what you took away from his testimony. And I also want to talk with you about the differences. So the speed, him doing a demonstration, Welcher doing a demonstration at around 2 miles per hour, but then there's information about the car going a lot faster. What are you taking away?
Well, good morning, Kelly. Yeah, this is really impactful and moving testimony for the Commonwealth. And I got to tell you, if the jury is listening and they're buying what Dr. Welcher is selling, this is not good for Karen Read. This data, this information, this analogy and the way that they've broken it down and shown these videos of exactly how John O'Keefe could have been struck and the glass could have been broken on that rear taillight just does not bode well for Karen Read right now.
How do you think cross will go? What are you expecting to see on the cross-examination?
Kelly, that's a great question. I think from the beginning clips that we saw this morning, what the defense is going to do, they're going to hone in on the uncertainties of Dr. Welcher, because he's making a lot of leaps of facts or coming to conclusions without being able to say exactly. For example, he said, I don't know exactly how fast or what impact or what speed was the impact at. I don't know where he was standing. I don't know where his body spun. So the defense will probably hone in on that and try to chip away at his testimony.
Absolutely, yeah. They were not too keen on him testifying in the first place, but Judge Cannoni allowed it, so we'll have to see how the cross-examination goes. All right, Randolph, thank you so much for your insight. We are going to have more key testimony from the accident reconstructionist in the Karen Read retrial. Plus, we have an
I think that may just be the baseball hat photos.
Okay, can you continue?
Then we have photos of a broken glass. Surrounded by red marks in the snow.
Continue, please.
This, by the way, is the flagpole.
And that slide number, please, Dr.
Yes, ma'am, 129.
Thank you.
Slide 130.
Can you enlarge that and explain to us what that is?
Sure. So at the bottom, it indicates where it's from. So this was from a presentation I gave looking at pedestrian injury biomechanics back in 2005. And what it's showing is what are the most common injuries in pedestrian impacts. So what it shows is head injuries are the most common injury in pedestrian impacts. So on the right-hand side, it's all injuries. You can see of all the individual study, the highest prevalence or most common injury was head injuries. In those that sustained severe life-threatening injuries, again, the highest was also head injuries. So head injuries are very commonly associated.
We're going to bring in our guest to discuss what we've been hearing from the testimony so far. Trial attorney and former prosecutor Randolph Rice. Randolph, thank you so much for sticking around with us. One of the things I want to talk with you about, so on the direct examination, he did say, this witness did say, we don't know how John O'Keefe was struck. Defense counsel is really going to pick up on that because that's important. We don't know. Really, only Karen Reed knows, and she may have been too intoxicated to even know really what happened, and that would be only if she did hit him, if you believe that theory.
Kelly, you hit two great points the defense is going to seize on in their cross-examination is that one is he said, I don't know a number of times, and they're going to say, I don't know equals reasonable doubt. The second great point you make is that did Karen Reed even know she hit John O'Keefe if you believe that she hit John O'Keefe? And therefore, that goes to the actual elements of the crime. And not knowing would make it hard to prove a number of the charges that she's charged with. So, two great points. I'm really interested to see cross-examination.
Yeah, me too. And we know it's going to be good because they had a lot of questions. They didn't want him. Defense counsel really were not too crazy about him testifying in the first place, saying that these are just assumptions and we don't really know the basis for him, even though he looked at police reports. I mean, he really did. Welcher did a lot of extensive background, a lot of studying, but defense counsel didn't want him to testify.
No, they didn't. And, it'll be interesting to see if they have a Burgess moment. Are they going to have a moment where he gets caught up in some sort of, fabrication or some sort of past incident that the defense can bring up and sort of sully his credibility? Because that's what they were able to do with his coworker in the previous cross-examination. Can they chip away at his credibility with something he has done in the past?
And during the voir dire, defense counsel did ask Welcher about that. Are you aware of Burgess's, the craziness with her CV, things that were on her CV that weren't really true? He was asked about that during voir dire, so that definitely is going to be brought up again. Okay, Randolph, thank you so much. Nice to be with you today. Coming up, a live look at the courtroom in Massachusetts. Testimony is set to resume there any minute in the Karen Reed retrial.